Hi, everybody. A parent wrote to me and said, with kids reading at home now, her kid was wondering about punctuation marks. And I said, I could do a video lesson about ending punctuation marks. We have talked about these in class, but I thought it might be nice to have a video to remind you to practice at home. We would do a lot of talking about this as they would come up, just in books we were reading together, maybe a National Geographic article, maybe when we were writing together. But this hopefully will help you think a little bit about the punctuation or the marks that come at the end of sentences. So there are 3 marks to know about. And if you know the names of them, you can connect right now. Be like, I know. And you can say them along with me. So we've got a period, an exclamation mark, and a question mark. I made the period sort of unreasonably big because I thought just having a dot on the page does not give the period the credit it deserves for being such an important punctuation mark, because we use periods a lot in our writing, and you will see them a lot in your reading. Usually they are the punctuation mark that you see the most frequently. So I made it really big, even though really it should be the same size as the dot on the exclamation mark and the dot on the question mark. So the different marks are useful because they tell the reader how to read a sentence. They let you know what kind of expression to use. So it's really useful to you when you are reading a book to know what the author was thinking. How did they want you to say that sentence? And it's super useful to you as a writer because it gives you this kind of magical power to get the person who's reading your writing to say it in the way you hope. So if you have read the book by B.J. Novak, The Book with No Pictures, I think that's the right title, it's the same idea, that he's like, oh, I can get the reader to say this however I want. I believe that Read Aloud is available on the Padlet page that has videos from all the different Salmon Bay teachers. I can't remember which teacher read it, but I saw it on there. Anyways, punctuation. So let's talk about what each of these different marks means when you see them at the end of a sentence. So when you see a period at the end of the sentence, that is telling you to just say the sentence in a normal voice. An exclamation mark, and again, this is kind of weird because we're doing this on video, not in person, but if I'm about to say something and you're like, I know what that is, I can't call on you, but you can be sitting there being like, I know about this. Okay, so an exclamation mark is used for an I know about this kind of sentence. It shows a really strong emotion, a strong feeling. When you're reading, you have to kind of think about what kind of emotion does the author probably want me to use. Is it a sad feeling? Is it excitement? Is it anger? What kind of strong feeling are they wanting you to express with the exclamation mark? Question mark is, of course, asking a question, right? It's a wondering sentence. So normally in the classroom, I would now ask all of you to give me some examples of each of these, and we would practice saying them together. It's kind of, I think, not as fun for me to come up with the sentences, but it's the best we've got right now. So I'm going to give you some sentences that match with each of these. Okay. So I'll just give you some examples from my day the last couple days. Yeah? Okay. So for a period, I want sentences that just say something. Just tell it. So I might say, I went for a walk today. I ate crunchy cucumber. So both of those sentences would then end with a period, right? I ate crunchy cucumber, period. I went for a walk today, period. I am sitting on the couch, period. No big intense feelings there, no questions or wondering, just a statement, just telling you something, right? The other ones are a little bit more fun to come up with examples. Okay, so let's see. On our walk, I got to see baby chicks. They were so cute. both of the sentences would have exclamation points at the end. I'm very excited. I got to see baby chicks! Exclamation mark! So exciting. They were really cute! Exclamation mark! I thought about asking if I could take a picture, but I thought it was kind of funny because the people were in their yard, so I didn't take a picture of them. You'll have to take my word for it. They were very cute. Another, I can't think of anything that I'm really angry about, but pretend. I dropped my ice cream cone. I'm upset. It's not a happy exclamation. It is an upset exclamation, but it's a strong feeling. I am so mad right now! Exclamation mark, right? If you go back to the language awareness part of the Heggerty lessons, they're the last part, although I think in the first lesson I flip-flopped it a little bit because I didn't have the alphabet cards. Listen, see which mark do you think it is? Do you think there's a period at the end, an exclamation mark, and then let's do the question mark last. So question mark, again, I think this one makes a lot of sense because the question is in the name, but your voice goes up a little bit at the end of the sentence to show that you are wondering something. You are asking a question. Did you play outside today? Hear that up at the end? That's where my question mark is. Did you play outside today? Question mark at the end. Do you want to take a walk? Question mark. Will you do an art project later? Question mark. So I did not write out any sentences on the back. I'm thinking now that would have been a really great thing for me to do, but I didn't. So I encourage you to pick out a book. Maybe you're going to do this by yourself. Maybe you'll do it with a grown-up or with one of your siblings. Pick up a book and see what kinds of punctuation you can find in the book. Bonus points if it's a book you know really well, because it's great if you already know what it says. Or if it's a book you can read yourself and you can say, oh, that says, is red your favorite color? You also can practice coming up with sentences on your own. Now, maybe you're going to come up with sentences on your own and you're going to do your best guess spelling and you're going to write down those sentences. And you're going to come up with one with a period at the end, one with an exclamation mark, and one with a question mark. Maybe you'll come up with a few for each. Maybe you're just going to go ahead and say those sentences to a grown-up. And maybe the grown-up or brother or sister can write them down for you or some other grown-up you're with. Those are some different ways that you can practice. Definitely, if there's someone reading you a story, them reading to you and you figuring out which punctuation mark they read is great practice. You reading and trying to read a sentence using the expression from the punctuation mark is really great practice. And then of course, when you're writing, thinking about how can you use these punctuation marks to make your writing really strong, putting them, again, always at the end of your sentence, the end of your idea, a group of words that go together. And it can be kind of fun because you can get people to use like really strong feelings when they're reading your writing, which I think is really fun and makes your writing more fun. And I bet you'll notice in books that you will see some great examples of this. I just spotted out of the corner of my eye a book to show you an example. I feel like we're in the classroom. It's just like, oh, look what we have here, an elephant and piggy book. Theo has been loving this. And I don't even have to open the book. So Elephant and Piggy, if you have any around your home, are great examples of lots of punctuation marks that are not just periods. The title of this book is There is a Bird on Your Head. I know that this is a sentence for me to read with a lot of expression because of the exclamation mark at the end. I'm going to open this up. Perfect. So, right here, Gerald goes, Piggy! Exclamation mark. And I can see Jared looks distressed. He's upset. You check out the punctuation at the end. Is something on my head? Did you hear how I went up at the end there? Is something on my head? And say, something on my head. That would be with a period, right? But the up at the end, that's because there's a question. Okay, now look at Piggy's punctuation mark. Just a period. So he just goes, or she goes, yes. No big feeling, no big emotion, just very calm. Yes. There's something on your head. Again, period at the end. Mo Willems, the author, is telling me, read this calmly. No big feelings. There is a bird on your head. Now I'm noticing there's no exclamation mark, just a question mark. Okay, so I'm going to read this. There is a bird on my head? Okay, I'm going to stop there. I may need to do this for an online read aloud now because I know I'm leaving you in suspense, but I don't want to make this lesson on punctuation too long. I wanted to give you a few more examples that weren't just from me. So, these are your ending punctuation marks. Super great things to think about as you are working on being a writer, a reader, all of that. I hope that you are all doing really well. Let me know if you have questions. If you write some really great sentences, I would love to hear them, whether you write them yourself or your grown-ups type them up for you. It'll be fun to see what you come up with. All right, I miss you all. I will talk to you soon. Bye.